Hello everybody, friends all over the world. I am back. My name is Phumza Graced. I welcome you all to this wonderful program today. Right, we were here last week, Wednesday, introducing the new vision of Lost but Found. All right, it has been a good and a wonderful experience, and I had received some comments from you on how it went on, and I'm grateful altogether for the advices that you have given me concerning the program. So today we're going to be moving forward. Before I move forward with the program today, I just want to encourage you to share this video. Go onto our YouTube page, do a watch party, however you are led to share whatever that I am going to share in this program, because I know that it is going to be of great value and of impact into somebody's life out there. So please share with your friends as much as you can. I do have a page that is Phumza Graced, and you can also like that page and follow me on that page as well. Okay, today it's gonna be a wonderful time with you, my friends, my viewers all around the world. I have friends in Nigeria, I cite you. I have friends in the USA, I cite you all, my friends back at home, Eastern Cape, I cite you, everybody. I know that you are watching, and I am grateful and I am humbled to know that you are in support of this vision. May the Lord bless you. All right, when we introduced the vision last week, I touched base basically about the reason why I am saying I have been sharing my vision with my spiritual father, of which I always not want to forget, but to always acknowledge the impact, the kind of work that he has done on me, that he has spotted and seen that there is a potential and there is a purpose that has been hidden, and he made sure that he pushes me to an extent whereby I'm able to discover my own purpose. So that is why sometimes you will find me talking about we. When I talk about we, I include everything, the ministry, my spiritual father. So I want to thank God again for using him greatly in my life. So last week, I believe that I was just introducing the vision to you. I wanted you to understand exactly what is it going to be about and what is it that I am going to be talking about on this program and the things that I will do. So in those lists that I have listed, today I have something very interesting that I want to do for you. I want to start with me first. I want you to understand, people ask me why lost but found. So I want you to understand why lost but found. The reason behind lost but found. In our lives, in this journey, you know that we have different journeys. We are on the journey in this life. And in this journey, we are supposed to discover ourselves. Now, how to discover ourselves? All right, I had a conversation with my daughter. My daughter was asking me about the current pandemic that is taking place. So I did not want to speak in a way whereby God will not be pleased with me, because I understand the mind and the character of God. And she did not like the idea of the country China. So as I was speaking with her, I said to her, you know, my child, it does not matter whether you are in China, whether you are in South Africa, how you are raised here in South Africa by a Xhosa woman and you are a daughter of a Sotho father, it does not make it any different from a person that is in China. Because whatever principles, whatever the environment, everything that takes place in that environment, you will become the product of that environment. So if you have something against Chinese people, let me assume that you are a Chinese today. Do you know that you are from China? Excuse me. Let's assume that you are from there. Then you would have been raised like that. You will know their traditions, you will know their cultures, you will know how they behave. You will not be different from them. So it same applies with you. So don't look at people in that aspect. Appreciate God for his creation in whatever way, whether the country you don't like, or you don't like black, or you don't like white, it does not matter. It's all about where God has decided to place you in this world. All right, so now as we were talking about this, I went back and I thought to myself that, you know what, God, number one, I need to be grateful and appreciate you for what you have been doing in my life. I sat down and I looked at everything that has been taking place in my life particularly. I come from a very deep, traditionally rooted background, number one. If you talk about culture, if you talk about tradition, that used to be my name. There is no one who can come and convince me otherwise, because I believed in tradition and I believed in culture. And I'm also grateful to that as well, because I have been groomed by my parents from both sides of my family. I have been groomed to be this person that I am today as well. Those cultures and traditions, they have helped me in a way or the other. But what I have noticed about my life is that things were not moving the way that I thought maybe they were supposed to move. If I look in my family, things are scattered. If I look in my own life, things are still scattered. And I got confused. When I grew up, I was raised by two loving parents. They were married. I was raised in a happy environment. I don't want to lie. My mother, my father, they raised me very well. They were married for the first 8 years of my life. And in that first 8 years of my life, I enjoyed what is a father. My father did everything for me. Anything that a child will be dreaming of, he made sure that I lack nothing. But one day, one fateful day, something happened between themselves, and in their relationship, a divorce had to take place. And when the divorce took place between the two of them, everybody knows that separation is not an easy thing. However they took it for themselves, it was not easy. He started to disconnect himself from me as a daughter. My mother was suffering internally, emotionally, in every way that I can think of. So in all these things that took place, I discovered that now that my father has separated himself from me, I started to get lost as I grew up. When I grew up, I've been longing every time when I want to have a contact with this man. He will just shun me. He will just be, you know what, I don't have time. If your mother has sent you to do this and this and that. I was caught up in the middle of two lovers' affair, and I was the one who was actually suffering at the end of the day. That it came to the stage whereby I had to be sent from one place to another place, of which the first 8 years of my life, I was used to these two loving parents. But then, because due to circumstances that changed the situation of my life, I found myself being moved from one home to another. Remember, I come from a happy home, and then now these people divorced. Meanwhile, I'm trying to establish a relationship with my father again and maintain it and grow up as that child that used to be loved by a father. Now, I'm being separated now from both parents. I find myself being taken to a grandparent. When I get there, the first grandparent from my father's side, it was a different religion they were following. All right, I'm still a child. I have there's nothing I can do about it. I have to do what they feel is best for me. I went there, spent few years of my life. Then again, something else happened there that was not pleasing to my mother. And then I had to be shifted from this place. And then I moved again to another home. When I moved to this home, now it's a different religion from what I'm used to from my grandmother from all these years. All right, I have to adapt. I will not be mentioning the church names because I've been to church. I just want you to have this thing at the back of your mind. Do not blame people who are moving from church to church. Blaming them, saying that they don't know themselves, they are problem causers or whatnot. Look carefully, research and find out what is the reason behind that. Why is this person unstable in her Christian walk or religious walk of life? But do not be quick to judge a person. When I got to high school, when I got to this different family, it's my mother's cousin's family as well. When I got to this family, again, it's another religion. I got there the first 2 years, they were going to a particular a ministry. I was comfortable. Okay, I started to learn how to sing because they love music. All of a sudden, a new ministry was introduced. Again, I had to change to a different ministry. All right, now this is about religion. In my process of moving back and forth, the first home in my higher primary years, that was before I was 10 years. In my higher primary years, I got raped in the process. And all these things, I have to deal with them. And I still have this father that is at the back of my mind. My subconscious keeps on reminding me that, you know what, no man is good, because your father used to present himself as a loving father. And he used to be there for you. And all of a sudden, he just left you like that. He just discarded you like that as a nobody. And now this is the second incident. Somebody gets raped at a young age. And then it's not only that. It's about religious beliefs and all of that. And then again, when I get to my maternal side, my grandfather is a strong traditional healer. He's a herbalist. He's everything. There's nothing. When I said in the beginning that when you talk about tradition, when you talk about culture, you don't dare come to me and tell me this and this, of which I know that it does not work like that. I will stand up to it and tell you that never, because I know where it starts from the root, because I come from that background. I believed in these things. So now I'm struggling emotionally because I have lost a father. And then again, I'm struggling to understand who is God, because I'm moving from different homes and I don't understand why are these people serving different gods from home to home, different churches. It did not make sense. When I get home to my grandparents, they will tell me that in order for you to connect to God, first of all, you need to acknowledge our ancestors. I was caught up in this. Meanwhile, I'm struggling and struggling in my walk of life. I had to be initiated to be Sangoma. I got initiated. And when I got initiated, let me tell you, things got worse. Things did not get any better. Before I got initiated, I've learned to discover on my own at a very young age, out of a divorce, out of a rape that I experienced as a young girl. My very own grandfather took me without my mother's permission, the one who took me in for 9 good months in a womb. He took me without her permission, and he took me to the depth of the sea, and he went and initiated me. That was before I was 11 years. He went after, that is after the rape, and he went and dipped me in the sea. I almost died. I saw death to such an extent. When I came back, that was the year I decided, as a small girl, I said to myself, I can never live in the same house with this man. But I never approached my mother and told her, you know that where we are coming from, this old man, your father, went and did this to me, and I almost died there. Little did I know that I was being sacrificed to the gods. But there is a super being, spirit being, that was above every other spirit, that was there taking care of me. But I did not know at that time, because I was still a child. But I escaped from there. After that incident, it was not enough that he did not succeed into giving me like that. I was supposed to be taken from the water and be a case that is written off, that we went to the sea and the child went there and the child never came back. Unfortunately, the plan failed. The second incident, a friend of mine, same age, not up to 12 years, we went to swim in the river, and I've never been to the river, and I already had an bad encounter in the sea. What drove me to take her to the river, I don't know. I went with her. I suggested, my friend, today it's so hot, let us go and swim in the river. I went into the river with her. Guess what happened in that process? When we were swimming in that river, we went deep into the depth. I don't know how I swam. I don't know. I don't know how to swim. Even today, I still don't know how to swim. But we went there boldly. We entered into the water, into the depth of the water. Unfortunately enough, somebody was seeing that these kids, the way they are playing in this water, they don't know what they are doing. And this guy was in initiation to become a man. And then he came. He saw that we came up first. But the second time around, he did not see our heads coming up. He decided to dive in. When he dived into the river, he discovered my body is there and the body of my friend is there. We are lying there lifelessly dead. He picked me up. He took me out of the water. He took me here to do SOS, to breathe in and do all those things to save me. And then when he discovered that I am breathing, he went back to look for my friend. When he went into the water, the spot that he knows that is where he located my body, he could not find my friend. So the case had to be represented to our elders. It went home. We went back home. He told them this is what the kids were doing and this and this and that. But then unfortunately I could not find or locate the other one. So they had to call the police, involve everybody, that would be the divers and everyone, to look for the body of this girl. It took hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. You know what? At the end of those long hours, the poor girl came out of the sea. Of the river. And everything was removed. I'm not talking, this is not Africa magic. This is my life story. This is not a movie that you watch. This is what took place in my life. When the child was found, the eyes were removed and everything, all to find out that I was supposed to be again initiated, be taken as a sacrifice to the gods. All these things I did not know until I came to the stage of discovering my purpose. As I walk, I'm still struggling with all these things, to the extent whereby I discovered who is Jesus. When I gave my life to Jesus Christ, everything started to make sense. Everything started to make sense. When I mean everything started to make sense, I'm trying to talk to those ones who are passing through one thing or the other. Things may not make sense today, but there will be a time in your life, if you are interested into finding out the purpose and the plan of God concerning your life. Now, I discovered something when I was studying my Bible, the book of Daniel, chapter 11, 32b. It says that those that know their God shall be strong. When I looked around my lost years, I was like, strong how? In what sense? And the Spirit of the Lord revealed to me that, you know what, every step of the way, whatever it is that has taken place or had taken place in your life, in your past, embrace it. I did it for you so that you can be strengthened emotionally, so that you can be strengthened physically, so that you can be strengthened mentally. In order for you to represent me as my daughter, I want you to pass through these things. This was a process for you. Don't you look at these things and think that I am not there. I looked at what the Lord says again. I believe it's a book of Isaiah 41 verse 13. Now this is when you need to understand yourself. God comes to introduce himself there. He says, for I am the Lord. I am the Lord, your God, the one who holds you by your right hand. I hold you by your right hand. And I am there to tell you that fear not, I will help you. And in every challenge, every step of the way, all these things that I have been mentioning one after the other, I discovered that now I said that there was a superior being that I did not know, because I was raised in an ancestral background with strong traditional beliefs. So I knew that there is a greater power. So when I had an encounter with Jesus, that's where I discovered that no, the reason why I am standing today, it's because the Lord never let go of his hand on me. Whatever, you know, you will experience certain things in life, and then by the time you look back, you'll be like, how did I pass that one? And there is a hand, you know, when you grab a small child, maybe a 1-year-old or a 2-year that is learning to walk, you know, you can grab your child with the right hand, and then you are training that child to walk. So whenever there is an obstacle that is in front of the child, you will just use that right hand and just lift up the child. Even the elders used to say, no, don't, you will break the arm, but you know that you are the parent of that child. You will not break that arm. Then you help the child. You will help the child to jump that stone that is a stumbling block in front of. I discovered this thing that, you know what? God Almighty is this God that has been with me. So let me tell you, in all your challenges, whatever it is, if you are sick today, it is not to destroy you. It is not to kill you, but then it is to give you strength. It is to make you strong, because in that sickness, there is a healer that God has deposited in you. There is a healing anointing that God has given you. By the time you start to get sick, and when you come out strong from that sickness, it will be easy for you to address any challenge that is called sickness, and you will be boldly casting out every spirit of sickness, because you know that there is a God that is your God, that has told you that do not fear. The reason why you got raped, it is not because God did not love you. No, God has been there for you so that you can be strong emotionally, so that you can be able to take other people's pains there. It might not sound easy on you because you are feeling the actual pain, but at the end of it, when you are looking in your pain, try to discover the purpose. You know, there is a purpose of God, and then there is a purpose of yourself. God has not created us to be robots. Let us be clear about this. God has not created us as robots. He allows us to make our own decisions. But in our making of our decisions, you must be like Peter, who says that I may know him. This thing that I am passing through, that I may know him. Let me find you, God, in this challenge. Now that I am passing through this divorce, what is the message? What is it that you are trying to tell me? That I may know you. I want to discover my purpose, but I don't understand what is my purpose. The problem is that we do not understand our purpose. It's all about our purpose. Let me tell you, there's something that my spiritual father he has been telling me, that you know what, life, we all have our own script to play. God has crafted everything. There's a blueprint about your life. Everything has been written down concerning you. So you have your own script. You have to find out for yourself, my dear. You have to find out for yourself, what is the original blueprint of my life? What is the mind of God concerning my life? When I'm seated here today, let me tell you, as I'm seated here today, if I did not have an encounter with Jesus Christ, I don't know where would I have been. That is why I understand that I am graced. It is by the grace of God. I don't care who tells you what. I don't care who is teaching you what. But at the end of the day, those that know, those that are wise, it is good that you listen from them, but do not allow them to live your life for you. Same applies that I was being lured into serving. You know, when you get that empowerment spiritually, you ought to find someone that has dealt with the spiritual, the beings, things that we dealt with. I've been there, I know. And when you go there, you don't play with your life. The path that my former ancestors believe was taking place in my background, things that I used to watch there, people used to live a pure life, a life of purity. Let me tell you, the reason why, even if today you believe in ancestors or you believe in whatever, the reason why you keep on going back and forth, whenever you have a problem, you quickly rush to your herbalist, you quickly rush to your sangoma, is because you, on your own, you are not living a pure life. So it applies to every dimension spiritually. If that person is able to have an encounter, why don't you ask yourself that, okay, if these people are able to define the blueprint of my life, ancestrally, traditionally, religiously, what is it that they are doing? You need to find out the secret behind that and stop doing wrong things. Stop living a life that is, people, they're so quick into doing wicked things for other people. They're so quick to trapping people. They're so quick to getting people to lose their jobs. They're so quick to curse people, of which all these things, they are not part of God's character. So everything that is negative that is found in you, it's what is making you not to have your own personal encounter. So you need to retrace your steps and look, what is it that I have been doing that is making me not to connect with my God? Jesus has changed my life. And I don't want to lie to you and say that, it's gonna be easy. It is not easy. But then, the people that survive in trying times, in challenges, in all these situations, all these ones that I have defined in the beginning of this program, people that are passing through all those challenges, those difficult times, it's people that know their God. I want you to understand that there is a God that is superior. And this God that is superior, that is above all the other gods, is a jealous God. Once you come to the place of figuring out who He is, and you discover your own purpose, connect to His purpose, align with Him. Let us enjoy the transformation and sit here and be laughing and smiling and embracing our past, knowing that we have a God that is there to give us strength, support in all times. Do not fear, do not be afraid of your challenges. Don't look at us as people that are hosting programs, who are preachers, it looks like life is easy for us. No, it was not easy, and it is still not easy. But we know who is the source of our strength. We have a God that is not judging. You prostitute out there, let them label you for what they want to label you for. But at the end of the day, remember this, that there is a God that is holding your right hand. You alcoholic out there, you drug addict that is out there, you that was raped out there, it does not matter. You that has been diagnosed with HIV, with COVID-19, with cancer, whatever the disease may be, you that feels that you are up to nothing, poverty has dealt with you, know that there is a God that is continuously holding your hand, picking you up, waiting for you. Let me tell you something. In the process of discovering yourself when you are lost, you will go to wrong places. In everything that took place in my life, promiscuous life, it was something that I can define myself with. Nobody knew that I was promiscuous. In front of people, I said like a good girl, but then behind closed doors, I was promiscuous like nobody's business. When you start to live that kind of promiscuous life, don't beat yourself so hard, because you are trying. Remember, I was trying to find my father that I had lost in all those 8 years. So in all this season whereby I was sleeping in and out with this one, doing this, doing that, I was trying to find something, and God was trying to open my eyes that, you know what, it is not only your father, your biological father, that you need. I want you to understand that I am the source. I am the father. I want you to have a relationship with me. So I want you to connect to me. So when you are doing things wrongly, don't condemn yourself. Don't judge yourself. Close your ears to what people are saying. close your ears, because that wrong direction, it's going to lead you to the source of your purpose. You will find God if you want to know. You will find your purpose if you want to know. But let me tell you something. If you believe in something because it worked for you. Don't just believe in something because people are telling you it is working. I am telling you that I have followed so many beliefs. I have followed so many beliefs, different kinds of cultures and everything, because people told me that these things are working. But nobody told me. Somebody told me that there is a man that I want to introduce you to. Now that you are telling me that you are lost and you are looking for a fatherly love, every man that portrays himself to be somebody that loves you, you will throw your arms around that man and quickly do what you're not supposed to do. When you find this man that is called Jesus, I'm telling you, he will transform your life. It was not easy, my dear, but let me tell you, I am overjoyed. There's too much joy that you get when you find Jesus. The strength that you would not understand, even if people say that you are sick. I just want to let you know that the people who will survive in this season is the people that know their God. So watch programs like this. Continue to listen to people with real life stories, people who have been transformed, who were taken from nobody to somebody, people who were broken, but today they are full of happiness, joy, and there is peace. Let me tell you, even money does not move me. They think I'm joking. Those things, they don't move me. The only thing that I am longing for is that I may know you, God. In this challenge, if there is a particular challenge, I want him to reveal himself to me so that I may know him better. I get connected to him like nobody's business. There's nothing that will take me back to where I was before. I am a happy woman. I am a divorced mother. I have beautiful children. The children that I tell every day that, you know what, even when I live, when I have played my role in this life, I do not want you to worship me, but I want you to follow the God of your mother. But we will still talk about this last statement, because I want you to go home and think about your beliefs. Why do you believe what you believe? What made you to believe what you believe? And I want to tell you why I am telling my children that when I live this life, after I have accomplished it all, I don't want to worship them to worship me as an ancestor. I want them to continue to serve the God of their mother. So, till we meet next week, Wednesday, 6 p.m. sharp, we will touch that about our roots, about our beliefs, about our traditions, about our cultures. I will go deeper and deeper. But today, I wanted you to understand, why am I saying lost but found? I know that you are blessed today by this program. As you continue to listen to this program, don't forget to tune in next week, Wednesday, 6 p.m. sharp. Remain blessed. My name is Phumza Graced.